Hello, my different people. Tonight I am basically just talking to you all about my story, my livelihood with vitiligo. I always get DMs, direct messages on Instagram and messages on Facebook. I've even gotten some emails before, basically people just inquiring about how I have handled living with vitiligo. And I've actually done one of these videos before. I think it was last year. It was basically like a Q&A. People sent me a few questions. It wasn't many, but I was able to go over my story and how I have handled living with vitiligo. And if you're unfamiliar with vitiligo, vitiligo is basically a skin condition where you lose the pigmentation out of your skin. So as you can see, I have like light spots here on my face. I have a couple spots on my elbow and then a couple on my leg. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but yeah, so you basically just lose the pigmentation, the color out of your normal skin color, skin tone. So, and it's also the same thing that Michael Jackson had when he was younger, which is why he was dark, or I guess I should say brown at one point in his life, and then he bleached his skin to completely white. Well, not really white. Well, yeah, I guess it was white, but the lighter shade that was in his, this is so rude of me to have my phone on right now. Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, but this is real life, so yeah, this is real life, so I'm going to try not to edit as much as possible. I want it to be like strictly like real time. But yeah, so I guess he basically just wasn't comfortable with having these spots, so he decided to go through the procedure of, you know, having his skin all one color. So he decided to take that route. And that was actually one of my options when I was younger. That was one of the options that my dermatologist gave my mother, to bleach my skin, but it's just something that she did not want to do, and I am so happy she did not do it, because I would not have wanted to be that way. I feel like this is the way God created me to be, so this is who I am. And if you look back at my previous vitiligo story, you will see that I have on all this makeup, and I have like, I'm covering my vitiligo, and I just look back at those videos and be like, wow, I have grown so much, because I don't even like makeup like that anymore. Like as you can see, I do not cover my vitiligo at all, because I just feel like it's who I am. I'm growing more as a person every day, and I'm becoming more and more comfortable with who I am. I don't wear like bold eyeshadows, and I just want to be me. Like, I want to be simple as possible. I rarely even wear makeup nowadays. I post pictures with makeup on, and I've even posted pictures without makeup on. Like, makeup doesn't define who I am. The makeup is just an accessory to me. So I don't feel like I need makeup to feel beautiful. There was one point in my life where I felt like I needed to like completely cover my face to be creative, to see how creative I can be with covering up who I really am, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, like this is me. Like, when I wipe this little makeup off that I have on and take my lashes off, take my weave out, you know, when I look in the mirror, I see myself, and I have become comfortable with who that person is, you know. There are still things that I am insecure with, you know, when it comes to my body, but I think that's just women. That's just a woman's, you know, nature or a woman's attitude. Like, that's just how it is. Like, no one is 100% like satisfied with everything on their body. Like, I don't know if it can be possible, because no one is perfect. God did not make one single person on this earth perfect, you know? So for me, like, I just try to go with the flow and just accept myself for who I am. But I don't want to ramble too much, so I'll get into some of the questions that I did receive. Some of these are old, some of these I have already answered for some of these people, but I just wanted to go ahead and include them in the video since they have been asked before, and they may help someone else that want to know but that they're afraid to ask me, or they just afraid to ask, or just, you know, just want to know but just haven't made time to ask. You never know, because I was one of those people. Like, there were things that I wanted to know but I was just too afraid to ask, because I didn't want people to, you know, look at me a certain way or think that I'm crazy for asking a certain question and things like that. But now, if it comes down to it, if it's something that I want to know, I'm going to ask. My ex has told me before, wow, you have really changed. You are not the same person. And I just be like, you're right, I'm not the same person. I'm a lot more blunt. I say a lot. If it's something that's on my mind and I feel like I need to express it in a positive manner, or it can be, if I feel like it can be expressed in a positive manner, then I'll say it. I don't hold anything back, because I feel like, what's the point? What's the point? I don't say things to hurt people or anything like that, so don't take it out of context when I say that I'm blunt, because I don't ever try to hurt anyone, because I know what it's like to have my feelings hurt. So yeah, I feel like I'm like the nicest person on this planet, so yeah. But one of the questions was, have you ever had low self-esteem? And I mean, I pretty much just went over that, but yeah, there was a point in my life where I had low self-esteem. Like, I thought I was the ugliest person on the planet. Like, I just was not happy with myself, but that was also because I was in a situation where I was unhappy, and I just wanted to give up on life, and I just wanted to get out, but I didn't know how to get out. So I took my anger out in the gym. I lost a lot of weight. I got down to like 117 pounds. I've never been that small before in my life. So yeah, like I have had low self-esteem before, and I know what it feels like, and I don't ever want to be in that place ever again where I feel like, you know, no one is ever going to want me, or I'm ugly, or, you know, like, I don't feel like anyone should feel that way, because I feel like, for one, when it comes to relationships, like, there's someone out there for everybody. It doesn't matter what they look like or who they are. Like, there's someone out there for everyone. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to be comfortable with who you are and know who you are. And honestly, like, I've been single for quite a while now, and I mean, I've talked to guys, but honestly, I feel like I haven't found that guy yet, is because I'm still finding myself. And since I did come from a place where I was so lost and I didn't know who I was, I thought so low of myself, it's taken me all of this time to find myself and figure out the things that I like and the things that I want to do, to gain the confidence that I have and the confidence that I'm still trying to build, because I still have to build myself up every day. It doesn't just stop here. Like, it has to keep going, you know, because I am getting older. We're getting older every day. I'm not the same 21-year-old that I was actually 19-year-old when I first got married. So, you know, I'm getting older, so I still have to build myself up every day. So And having low self-esteem, like, I honestly just feel like it's something that it's something inside. Like, being beautiful it has nothing to do with what you look like on the outside. It's everything is inside. So you have to constantly remind yourself that you are more than what you look like on the outside, you know? So if I can encourage anyone to, you know, feel good about themselves, the only thing that I feel like I can say is just figure out how to love yourself and make you happy. That is like the most important thing, like, because you can't make anyone happy, not anyone. You can't make anyone happy if you're not happy with yourself. It's no way possible. It's no way possible it can work. There's no way you can try or you can even attempt to try to make someone happy if you're not happy with yourself. And that's just bottom line. That's all it is. So that's my answer for self-esteem. Yes, I've had low self-esteem and it was not cute at all. Girl, that is not cute. I look back and I be like, girl, that was not cute. I be looking back at some of my pictures and I be like, oh my gosh, like, what was I thinking? Like, how come no one told me? Like, how come no one told me that I looked so crazy wearing all that goddamn makeup? Like, yeah. But yeah, so that's my take on that. Okay, next question. Speaking of questions, just got another question. This particular question states, hold on, let me make sure, let me read it thoroughly. Okay, so for this particular quick question, she's asking, she's asking basically what products do I use in regards to curing my vitiligo. Okay, so for my vitiligo, like, when I was younger, okay, so let me start here. I was first diagnosed with vitiligo when I was 5. And I ended up getting like a really, really tiny spot, maybe like the size of a dime, like right here on my face, right above my lip, up under, between my lip and my nose. I got a little small spot right there. I came home from school one day and I swear, like, that spot was just there. And then it just started to grow, just like out of nowhere. So at that point, my mom took me to a dermatologist and we found out that it was vitiligo. And they gave me like different creams and stuff to use. Me personally, I don't feel like they worked because, I mean, over time, basically, this is what happened. It grew to like a really large spot, and I'm talking about this spot in particular because I would get spots like everywhere. Well, on my elbows, I got one right here, like on my chest, and then I have some on my legs, and then like on the back of my legs, but that's it. And that's the only place they have ever been. Oh, and I have it in my head too. So like on my scalp, there's like white spots. If you like part my hair, you'll see like different white spots. And where those white spots are, excuse me, I just finished eating. But where those white spots are, I have gray hair that grows right there. So, and that's another thing, like when I was younger, I used to have like a lot of gray hair, gray patches like all over my head. So my mom would always dye my hair. So I started getting my hair dyed at like maybe 7 or 8, I think. It was really young, I can't remember. But as far as the medication, like the dermatologist prescribed me different medications or whatever, but it didn't work because I felt like I was using the products, but the vitiligo had a mind of its own. Like it would go away, come back, go away, come back, go away, come back. And it got to a point where I was just like, whatever, like I don't even want to do this anymore. there's no point in me doing it. So maybe around 10, I just stopped stopped taking the medication because I just felt like there was no point. But and it was just some creams that I had to apply, and then I think there was like a peel or something that I had to take. I can't remember. But today there are different cures for vitiligo, stuff that does actually work. In 2011, I think it was. In 2011, I started doing light treatments, and it's basically like a tanning bed, but you have to stand up, and then this light just circles around you, and you have to stay in there for a certain amount of time. And each time that you go, the physician ups the time and the temperature of the lighting. So out of all the creams and stuff that I ever taken, that was the only thing that worked for me, because my vitiligo actually cured up a lot, especially on my legs, because where I have vitiligo on my legs right here, where it's darker, it was so white right here, but now it's really dark. But the only thing that I hated about the light treatments is that it used to burn. Oh my gosh, I had to go 3 times a week, and I would have to stay in there between I honestly can't even remember, but I think it started, when I first started, I had to stay in there 2 minutes, and then it went up to 6 minutes or something. But I had to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and oh my gosh, by the 3rd day, my face would be swollen, and yeah. I'm gonna have to wrap up this video because I see that my battery is about to die soon. But yeah, my face will be swollen and really, really tight, and my spots will be red. It will feel like a terrible sunburn. And it was just part of the treatment, but I hated it. I did it for about 4 months, and then I just gave up. I was just whatever. If it takes me going through this pain to have my vitiligo cured, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. So I just gave up on it. But that's pretty much, I don't take anything now. I don't do anything when it comes to my vitiligo. I just live. I just wake up freely and I just live. I look at my vitiligo and I'm I love myself. And I've had a guy tell me that I'm so vain. I don't feel like I'm vain. I just love myself, especially knowing where I came from and how I used to feel about myself. I finally know my worth, and I love myself. I know where I came from. I know how I used to feel about myself. I know what it feels like to really think that I'm ugly. So now that I know what it feels like to have confidence in myself, and I have a higher self-esteem, and I have learned to love myself for who I am. I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy looking at myself. I enjoy seeing what God created. So for someone to call me vain, I just think that's that's their personal opinion, and I can't change that. But I don't feel like I'm vain. I love who I am. I love who I'm becoming, and I love the woman that God has created me to be. So that's that on that. But so that's pretty much my experience with vitiligo. I mean, it was rough growing up with vitiligo, kids laughing at you and making fun of you, and getting stares and things like that. But now when I go out and little kids stare, or people just stare at me, I smile at them, or I just tell them hi, or I basically just try to remove the awkwardness out of the moment, So and that took time. I had to learn to adapt, and that also came from me learning who I am, and just accepting who I am. So when it all comes down to it, you just have to know who you are and accept who you are, and don't allow anyone to change that. This shirt right here, it says just Beyonce. I live by this. I live by just be Beyonce, because if you think of Beyonce, what do you think of? Well, the first thing when you see Beyonce, a picture of Beyonce, the first thing you say is, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, she's so fearless. Oh my gosh, she's so flawless. And, you know, things like that. So I really want to live, like, fearlessly. Like, I don't want to be scared to be who I am, you know. I'm extremely goofy. Like, I love to laugh. I really want to spend the rest of my life laughing. I know what it feels like to go home and cry and look in the mirror and not like what I see. So I want to spend the rest of my life laughing. I don't like being sad. I don't like crying. I don't like being depressed. I suffered from depression for a while, and I don't like that feeling. So I don't do it, y'all. I don't do nothing that I don't want to do. If it's something I don't want to do, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. Like, I don't care what anyone thinks. Like, I'm just not going to do it. I am going to do any and everything to make myself happy, because at the end of the day, if I can't make myself happy, Aubrey, my baby, my 7-year-old, he's not going to be happy. I don't want my child seeing me angry and sad and crying, depressed. Like, I don't want him to see any of that. So I'm going to do any and everything possible to make myself happy. I'm not going to allow anyone to make me unhappy. If I'm in a situation where I feel unhappy, I'll walk away. It's just point blank period. Like, I'm not going to settle. I'm not, like, it's just what it is. Like, people, I have had people tell me, you're going to end up very successful and very single. And I'm not okay with being single, but if that's what God has planned for my life, then so be it, because I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to be unhappy. I'm not going to walk around with a frown on my face. I just want to be happy. I just want to laugh. So I'm really just trying to enjoy life and do what makes me happy. I'm almost 30 years old, like, and I've spent the majority of my 20s, like, crying and being unhappy. I don't want to do that anymore. So I just want to be happy, and that's going to consist of me knowing who I am and having higher self-esteem than what I used to have, and really believing in myself. And I pray a lot. I pray a lot. So, and prayer really changes things. So yeah, and I'm not going to get spiritual on you all, but yeah, that's just pretty much how I deal with, you know, self-esteem and, you know, having confidence in myself. And I just live freely. Like, I don't set any boundaries on myself. I don't put a timing on anything. Like, there are a lot of things that I want to do, but I know at the end of the day, like, I can't control time. So I just have to go with the flow, you know? So, yeah, it's just what it is. Like, I really hope that this video was able to help some of you all. I mean, I know I didn't go over all the questions. Some of the questions I have answered before, but if there's anything that you all would like to know, just feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll be glad to answer it for you. I don't mind. Like, I'm not intimidated. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to share my story, because if someone would have shared their story with me, like, I feel like, well, I'm not going to say that, because like I said, everything does happen according to God's time. But, you know, if someone would have shared their story with me a little sooner, I probably would have been able to, you know, identify myself a lot quicker than at 25 versus, I mean, at 18 versus 25, you know? So, because that's when I really started to find myself and decide that I'm going to take the road to happiness. But yeah, I just really hope that this helped someone out there, you know, that's living with low self-esteem, or, you know, don't feel confident in themselves, or if they just really feel like giving up on themselves. Like, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Giving up is so easy. Like, it's so easy to just give up and do what you've been doing. Like, make a change. If you're not happy with yourself, just make a change and do what is going to make you happy. Who wants to wake up every day with a frown on their face? Who wants to wake up every day and do something they do not enjoy? Like, I don't understand that. Maybe I'm wrong because, you know, F that. I'm not wrong because it's crazy. That's insane. Like that's absurd. Who wants to wake up and go to a job or be in a relationship that they're not happy? Like, who wants to live that life? That's, if you're living that life, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. You're settling. You're settling. That's all it is. Like, you're settling. No matter if it's you're scared, you know, you have the fear of just stepping out and being on your own. At the end of the day, you're settling. That's all it is. Because, and I can say that because I did that. I was scared to be on my own. I was scared to be a single mom. Like, I was scared to start over. But I had to know within myself that I deserve more. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to live a prosperous life, you know? So, yeah, that's my piece on that. I'm not even going to get into relationships and all of that stuff. But, yeah, like I said, I just really hope that I'm able to help some of you all. Or if this only helps one person, I will be satisfied. You know, I just want to be able to help somebody. My whole purpose on this planet is to inspire and help people that are genuinely in need. I know what it's like to be in need and not have anyone to call on, or, you know, no one to talk to. I know what that's like. So when I have the opportunity to help someone, I help them, and I'm going to continue to do that. But like I said, if you all have any more questions, or if there's anything that I didn't cover that you would like for me to cover, just leave a comment below and I will be glad to answer it for you. I don't have a problem. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I really hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the evening, and just be safe, and just remember, like, love yourself, and remember to always be different.